Did you know that you can fail home inspections? Well, I'm about to tell you right now how that happens. And there are flaws. See this? This home needs to be painted. That's a flaw. So sellers, I don't want you leaving any money on the table. Do these repairs that we're going to go through right now. And buyers, I want you to look at what I'm about to show you so that when you're ready to make an offer, you take this into consideration with the price you give them. Okay, here we are again. I'm Maria Wells, broker owner of Lifestyle Realty Group. So let's get started to see how you fail a home inspection. We have just entered the home and we are into the living room. We're turning the corner into the kitchen. And I want you to look at it now. Cosmetically, when you first take a glance, this isn't too bad. It almost looks like it's great with stainless steel appliances, but look closer. This microwave obviously is very old. You need to take that into consideration whether you're selling or you're buying. And this dishwasher is definitely very old. And the tenant told me she's never used it. So the chances of it working is really slim. But the cabinets at first glance look pretty good, but look at this. I'm going to take you around the corner here and look at, they're being held together by foam. Obviously, these cabinets are going to have to be replaced and you see the water damage below. Just something else for you to look at, and that's a fail. Let's look at the living room because I already know that there's a big fail here, and that happens to be up in the ceiling. You see the smoke detector? No, neither do I. There isn't one. And see over here, there's like a crack in the roof. Look for these little seams because that indicates that there was probably a problem up there on the roof, or there is a problem on the roof. As we go along the wall, look at the electrical outlet. As a seller, make sure all of your electrical outlets are securely fastened and that they work, and especially GFIs. Those happen to be outlets that are near water. Make sure that they work because normally those are the first things that fail in an inspection report. Now this bathroom, I was informed, had a leak and the landlord sent her handyman to fix it. Does that look fixed to you? Oh my gosh, look at that. What a terrible job. And who knows if it was done properly behind there. It looks to me that the tiles are a little different. Sticking out, I mean, not the different types of make. And that tells me that there is probably a problem in this shower with leaking. Now, there's a flaw that we're coming to in this other bedroom, and this happens to be the door jamb. And this has separated and come apart. Now, that's more cosmetic than it is a fail. But when a buyer sees this, they're looking at how a home has been maintained, which would not be really great. Now here's a big indicator in this closet that I want you to see, and that's up at the ceiling. Here is a roof leak, and also it might not only just be a roof leak, it may be the air conditioner because it happens to be up in the attic. So look in the ceilings and make sure if you're going to have any fails. These are huge when it comes to looking at repairs and what you might have to pay. Many times I'm asked about tile and if there's cracks. That happens to be cosmetic. So for instance, this room has some stains on the tile in the closet. Well, that is not a fail, but it definitely is cosmetic, which a buyer is going to take into consideration when making an offer about fixing the floor. Now we're going to look in the garage, and I know for a fact, because I tried it, the garage door does not work, which means most likely that the garage door opener doesn't. And look at this pedestrian door. Obviously there's a problem they've had to use wood to board it up. Again, these are all big red letters to look at for fail. As we walk out to the screened porch, I want you to listen to all this noise. This is an old air conditioner. I happened to look at permits before I came here, and it hasn't been replaced for years and years. So when you hear that kind of noise, you know you have a problem. If you look up at the ceiling, and we're going to do that, you can see that the boards are bowing, which means there's got to be something possibly wrong with the roof. I also looked at that permit, and there has not been a roof put on this home in years. So I'm sure it's end of life and needs to be fixed. As we go along out here, the screens are torn. Now that is not a fail, but it is a flaw, and there's no one who typically wants to buy a home without having screens how they need to be. Look at this door, the condition it is. Look at the fence out in the back. Well, now you know how to fail a home inspection. Sellers, do not leave money on the table, and buyers, take all of this into consideration when you're ready to make that offer. Until next time, see you later.